Day five, day five. Day five is going to be the big one. Day five is not an ending of this season. It's not an ending of this venture. Day five is going to be the beginning of something big. Go ahead and type "I'm starting." If this is just the beginning, this is not the end for you. I am starting, or I'm starting, or start. I am starting. I was speaking to my VIPs here about momentum. I'm not a big fan of travel because when I come back from my trip, I've lost momentum in everything I was doing. And so it's just slightly frustrating for me. And I realized that in business, you can build momentum. In any season, you can build momentum. In pretty much anything, you can build momentum. And so what we've done over these last 5 days is we've built up momentum. We've started something. We have not ended something. So for those of you that think that this is the end of something, I don't have very high confidence that you'll launch a digital product. But for those of you that are starting something, I have a very high belief that you will launch your digital product. And everybody typing "start" in the chat or "starting," I am starting. I have a high belief that we will see your digital product on the internet here in the next few days. So momentum is huge. Starting is huge. You got to shift that mindset. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Let me do some housekeeping here. The free gift. I promised you all a free gift. Why am I doing a free gift? Well, our goal here, our mission here is to make sure that everybody on these challenges, on these lives, leave with, first of all, having something. And whether that's a complete revelation or life-changing revelation, if it's not that, then we at least want you to leave with some pretty amazing teaching as well. So we're going to package together a whole free gift from Tomi Araimi himself. It's incredible and it's completely free. We're just asking for like 5 minutes of your time to give us some feedback on how the event was. That's all we're doing. And I'm only going to give that to you at the end because I first want to make sure that you receive some insane value from this session. So type "free gift" in the chat if you want the free gift. That's going to be you. Next piece of housekeeping here is the workbook. We're going to make sure we leave you on day 5 with your workbook. I'm going to give you the workbook password here at the end of the session. Now, finally, I'm also going to do a brief walkthrough in our Q&A session. By the way, Q&A, we're still doing that today. And I'm going to see if I can answer as many as I can because I know it's our last day. In that Q&A, I'm going to do a mini walkthrough of digital launch. So anybody that was on the fence about joining, you were like, have been super excited to launch your digital product business. You've been looking forward to it, but you're like, I just want to see what it's like, what people get. I'm going to show you that in the Q&A session because I don't want to take up the main session with that. So I'll show you later. If you're interested, stay until the Q&A. Now, before I jump into here and do like 50 minutes of teaching, I want to tell anybody that is looking for the link to digital launch, you can go to joingoshen.com if you want to save your seat for digital launch now. Like, I don't want to make you wait for the whole session. So if you want to go save your spot, go to joingoshen.com. If you guys can help me out, type joingoshen.com so that people remember. Our team is not going to drop the link for you right now. So just like help somebody out here, type joingoshen.com. You can go to that link and save your spot right now. Now, before I push that point too far, let me jump into today's teaching. We had a pretty fire session with a VIP, so I'm pretty hyped up for this YouTube live for everybody else. Free gift, free gift, free gift. Let me grab some water before we jump. There we go. You guys are awesome. Thanks for helping me out with that link. Okay. Like I said before, while I'm teaching, I love feedback from people. So the more feedback you can give me, if you understand, I need you to say, I understand. If we're on the same page, say same page, like interact with me. The more interaction, the better. I'm asking for your help is what I'm doing, honestly, during this live. So here we go. Let's jump into day 5. I'm going to talk about the wealth versus income framework. This is the first piece that I'm going to talk about. So let me start with a distinction that will change how you think about money forever. Most people's problem with digital products will be their mindset. It'll be their belief system. It'll be the thing that they understand about themselves, about their audience, about their digital product, about their situation. It is your belief system. I broke down yesterday why money is not your problem. Resources is not your problem. It is access. And how do you get access is by adjusting your belief system. So I'm going to start with a distinction that will change how you think about money forever. Most people spend their entire careers focused on income. What you work for, what you are looking to make, you are trading time for money. Income requires your time, your energy, your presence. When you stop working, income stops flowing. Wealth is completely different. I might be preaching something or teaching something that you already understand, but bear with me. Wealth is completely different. Wealth is what works for you. Wealth generates money while you sleep. while you vacation and while you focus on other priorities. That is wealth. Here's the critical piece. You can have a high income and still be completely broke. I've seen doctors making $400,000 a year who, if they missed one paycheck, they would fall into complete financial disaster. They're living paycheck to paycheck, and they are what we would call wealthy. They're not wealthy. They are still completely broke. Patricia said, I need to hear this. I love the feedback. Thank you. Let's keep it going. I would so appreciate it. Just the more I understand about you guys, the better. That doctor, that $400,000 a year doctor, they don't just earn money. They've mastered income, but they never learned wealth. There we go. They mastered income, but they never learned wealth. The entrepreneurs who achieve financial freedom understand this distinction. They don't just earn money, they create assets that earn money for them. And this is why digital products represent such a profound opportunity. They are wealth creation vehicles. You create them once and they can generate revenue indefinitely without additional time investment. When you create your digital product, I want you to understand that you're creating an asset. You are not creating another job for yourself. You're not creating another thing that owns you, that you are a slave to. You are creating an asset. If created in the right way, you are generating an asset. And the beautiful thing about that is you can create as many of those assets as you do choose. Turns out you only need one in order to be successful in the digital product space. So I want you to think about this. When you create a digital product that solves a real problem, you are building something that can make money at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday while you're sleeping perfectly fine. When you create a digital product that solves a real problem, you are building something that can be making money right now while you're watching Goshen Digital Launch Challenge Day 5. And that is the difference between income and wealth. Income requires your presence. Wealth works in your absence. Now, I said this on day 1. I really want to say it on day 5 here. I want to say it again to you. I believe that God put a seed of an aspect of his creativity on the inside of each of us. I believe that God put a different seed of an aspect of his creativity on each of us. What does that mean? That means that God, I don't believe, this is my belief. If you're not a believer, that's okay. I just want to share this with you, okay? I believe that he put a different seed of an aspect of his creativity in you as the same seed that he put inside of me. I believe that they are different. They're different aspects of his creativity. Why? Well, I believe that the reason is so that you could serve me and so that I could serve you. So that you would need me and so that I would need you. I believe that is why God did that. Therefore, that means that you need to adjust your mindset, adjust your belief system to start to pull from the creativity that God gave you rather than pulling from the time that God also gave you and trading that for money. Like, why not trade with an infinite resource rather than a finite resource? By the way, time is finite. You only have a set amount of time. Creativity, turns out creativity is unlimited. You can pull from that creativity over and over and over again. And that means that you can serve people over and over and over again. Like, how many people here would want to serve people from something that is unlimited? Like, we so often run into these limitations of serving people because we're like, I don't have more money, or I don't have more time, or I don't have this, that, and the other, because you are pulling from something that is finite. I run out of ways to serve people. Whereas when you start to pull from your creativity, you're now pulling from a source where you can serve people like virtually infinitely. Leah said, powerful revelation. I agree. Victoria said, awesome revelation. I'm glad you guys are catching this. Now, turns out, in the way that you're serving people, if you have not learned to charge someone for something, then they cannot be fully transformed by it. If you took anything away from today, I want you to take this away. If you haven't learned to charge someone for something, they cannot be fully transformed by it. People's transformation is subject to the amount that they invest in it. If that's time, if that's money, if that's something, people's transformation is subject to the amount that they invest in it. Therefore, that means that you are doing people a disservice by not only not offering what you have, but also by not charging for it. One more time for the people at the back. You are doing people a disservice by not only not offering what you have, but also by not charging for it. Some of you are not offering anything, and we're going to change that, but some of you are offering so much, you just haven't learned to charge from it. Turns out it's still a disservice to people. Why? Because people's transformation is subject to the amount that they invest into it. There we go. Stephanie put it in the chat for me. Go look at Stephanie's message. Now, some of you have a massive problem with selling on these calls. That's why I've talked about selling so much. Let me remind you, selling is not something you do to someone. It's something that you do for someone. You are serving people and you're charging them for it so that they can have the full transformation. Oh, come on. Someone, P. McLean said transaction equals transformation. There you go. When you sell to people, you are serving people. And when you hold back from people, you are robbing people. So selling is not talking someone into buying something that they don't want, don't need, and can't afford. Selling is also not convincing someone to buy something that they otherwise don't want to buy. Selling is persuasion, and persuasion is the opposite of convincing. Convincing is when I attempt to get someone to do something I desire them to. Convincing is when I attempt to get someone to do something I desire them to do for any reasons, or for my reasons. I sort of butchered that line. Let me start that again. Convincing is when I attempt to get someone to do something I desire them to do for my reasons. The opposite of convincing is persuasion. What is persuasion? Persuasion is when I help someone make a decision that they already desire to make for their own reasons. That is going to, if you understand that, it will completely change the way that you see selling. Selling is a good idea because I believe selling is a God idea. Now, can I just tell you, like, it's obvious to everybody here that we're giving away free training. Like, I know the VIPs, you guys paid for extra access. Everybody in the general admission, you guys are getting this for free. This is free training. Like, we're giving away as much as we can for free. But it's also very obvious that we are also selling something. So we're giving away this much for free, and then if you want more, we're also selling something. Like, that's super obvious. I want to say this. I have never enjoyed selling to people so much. Because I actually got some messages from you that I read this morning where people said that was one of the best pitches I've ever heard in my life. And some of you said, thank you so much for offering this. Actually, one of the VIPs earlier said, like, this is worth way more than $14.95. This is awesome. Thank you. And like other people, like, this is absolutely amazing. Why? It feels good to sell. Like, it just feel like, because I know that this is valuable, what we're selling. And you should too when it comes to your digital product. You should feel really good selling to people. And like when someone says no, you should still feel really good because you're like, oh, you're just not the person that's going to buy my product. I'll go find somebody else that this does serve. Lita said, this is how the business in the kingdom of God should be. Love it. Principle of exchange. Okay. So I just want to share that. Like, I've never enjoyed selling more. Like, this is great. I just get to give away value and then I get to tell you about an opportunity and then it serves people really, really well. And if it doesn't serve you really, really well, and that's okay. We're good. We can move on. Okay. Let me start with this. Expectation is the human being's greatest superpower. If I believe I can, or if I believe I cannot, I am 100% right. I shared this with the VIPs and I really dove into it. I'm going to be brief on here for everybody on YouTube. Henry Ford said it in this way, but Solomon said it to people before Henry Ford. Like, people give that whole quote to Henry Ford, if I believe I can or believe I can't, I'm right. Solomon said it before him. Solomon said, according to your faith be it unto you. If you believe you can't, then your brain will find every reason why you cannot. And if you believe that you can, your brain will find every single reason that you can. The Bible also says, like, if you're not a believer and you don't like the Bible, I'm so sorry. This is not the challenge for you. Like, you're going to hear a little bit of Bible from me, okay? The Bible says in Proverbs, it says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Or as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Therefore, as you think up here, as your expectations are, your expectation is one of your greatest superpowers, because as you think, so are you. Which means if you believe you can, you are right. If you believe you cannot, you are also right. Come on now. Someone said, Jesus said that too. There you go. We got some Bible people here. Okay. Beliefs are stories I make up about the future. The future has not happened yet, which means that any belief that you have about the future, you made it up. And if you're going to make it up, why not make up something good? Why not make up something that actually serves you? Like, it sounds funny, but bear with me here, okay? So instead of believing that no one's going to pay $10,000 or $100 or $1,000 for your program, what if you said that there are people praying for a solution exactly like mine, and I am the answer to that prayer? Like, what if you believed that instead? That's not just a mindset change. That is the stewardship of what you have. Can I get an amen in the chat? That's why Layla said. That's why it says to take our thoughts captive. When he says the power of our minds. Amazing. Truth. Okay, we're on the same page here. Now, Now that we've sort of adjusted our mind, we threw away some old thinking models here. I want to talk about the 4 levels of value creation. If you understand the 4 levels of value creation, what you're going to do is you're going to leave this challenge and you're going to immediately start to see the amount of opportunities there are out on the internet, the amount of opportunities there are to make money because you've understood value. I believe, and I don't think I'm speaking to my generation here, I think I'm speaking to a different generation, but my generation, one of the biggest problems is they don't understand value, like at all. That's why it's really hard to hire people from my generation. It's hard to hire people from any generation, but people don't understand value. And so they're here and they're like, hey, here's my 8 hours a day, but there's zero value from those 8 hours a day. Turns out I don't really give a rip about the 8 hours a day. I'll take 1 hour a day. I just want the value that's there. I want you to perform, like do something, show me some skill, show me some experience that's valuable. Like people, I've hired people and they think it's really impressive to stay really, really late. Turns out there's nothing impressive about staying late. What's impressive is the result of staying late that you produce. Because, guess what? You can stay in the office really, really late and get nothing done and just be death scrolling on TikTok. Like, I'm not impressed. And turns out you're not impressed because you're tired now. And now you're not going to be thinking right the next day. Like, I don't want that on my team. Go home at 5. Also, maybe you're just not getting the work done. Like, there's a whole team of people in the room here. So I'm like preaching to my people. No one here. Okay. You guys get the point. If you can understand value, then you can create any business, you can step into any marketplace. So let me teach you the 4 levels of value. There are 4 distinct levels of value creation, and most entrepreneurs never move beyond level 1. Most people never move beyond level 1. Level 1 of value is implementation. This is where you personally do the work. You trade your time, your skills, your expertise directly for money. Even highly paid entrepreneurs or professionals like lawyers, consultants, doctors, they're often stuck at level 1. They are premium implementers, but they are still implementers. So level 1 of value is implementation. Level 2 is creation. This is where you create the systems, processes, and solutions that others can implement. Instead of doing the work yourself, you design how the work gets done. And this is where you start building scalable value. Level 3, type level 3 in the chat, we're on the same page. Level 3 is communication. This is where you teach others to create systems and solutions. You're not just creating value, but you're teaching others to create value. And this is where digital products live. And this is where wealth starts to compound rapidly. Finally, level 4 is imagination. And this is where you envision entirely new ways of doing business that others haven't conceived yet. You are creating new markets, new paradigms, and new possibilities. By the way, I'm not saying you need to get to level 4. I just want you to understand them because you can operate in any of them. Now, here's what's fascinating. Each level isn't just incrementally better than the previous one. Each level is exponentially more powerful. A level 1 implementer might make $100,000 per year working full-time. A level 3 communicator can make $100,000 per month teaching others what they know. By the way, both were $100,000. One of them is in green. It says $100,000 per month versus $100,000 per year. That's the difference between level 1 and level 3. Digital products allow you to jump directly from level 1 to level 3. You do not have to slowly climb each level. You can leap from implementation to communication by packaging your expertise into teachable systems. That is why we are here in a 5-day challenge. That's probably why you're here, whether you knew it or not. Now, here's something that might just sting a little, might just hurt a little bit. I think you guys have already learned that some of the teaching here is like, it's kind of like a slap. It's a good slap, but it's a slap. Okay, here we go. Brace yourself. Your current success might be your biggest obstacle to wealth. At every level of business growth, there is exactly one constraint preventing the next level. For most entrepreneurs, that constraint isn't external. It's not the market. It's not the competition. And it's not the economy. The constraint is internal. It is your thinking. It is your belief system. Here's a quote from Tomi Araimi that I absolutely love. I found it in my notes today. Here's the quote. What follows you in life is what you believe. If you want to change what follows you, change what you believe. If poverty follows you, then you believe in poverty. We're like 20 minutes into the session here. One more time. Quote from Tomi Araimi. What follows you in life is what you believe. If you want to change what follows you, change what you believe. If poverty follows you, then you believe in poverty. Sometimes we are thinking like an implementer when you need to think like a creator. You're thinking like an employee when you need to think like an asset builder. Here's a very uncomfortable truth. The constraint is always the thing that you are avoiding. What are you avoiding right now? Are you avoiding packaging your knowledge because you're afraid that people will judge you? Are you avoiding charging premium rates because you're afraid of rejection? Are you avoid of building scalable assets because you're comfortable with predictable income? Maybe you're not launching a digital product because you're afraid that you're going to be made fun of. Maybe you're afraid that someone in your family will say, I can't believe you're charging that much. Maybe you're afraid that somebody will say, you should be giving that away for free. You could bless more people if you gave it away for free. And like, I don't mean to mock those people by any means, but I'm hopefully from this teaching, you're going to learn how that is not a base for not launching and serving people in the highest level. Okay. The thing that you're most resistant to is usually your biggest opportunity. Most people avoid wealth creation or avoid starting a business, but because it requires a fundamental identity shift. Being a true entrepreneur requires an identity shift. By the way, the word entrepreneur is not to say, oh, I started a business. That is not an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur the French word comes from, it means the description of it is to carry the weight of responsibility. That is what an entrepreneur is. It is not a starter, it's not an inventor, it's none of that. It's to carry the weight of responsibility. You have to stop seeing yourself as someone who gets paid for time and start seeing yourself as someone who gets paid for value creation, someone that carries the weight of responsibility. And this shift, this mindset shift is uncomfortable because it challenges everything that you've been taught about work and value. Here's what's interesting. Ease doesn't decrease value, it increases it. Making things easy is valuable. Ease paradox, there we go. Think about it. Do people pay for more complicated solutions or simple ones? Do they want the 47-step process or do they want the 3-step process? People pay for clarity. They pay for ease. That is like probably one of the most common things that all of you will solve in your digital products is to make things easier for people. And yet when it comes down to your own success, we choose the complicated path. We choose the path that's a little bit harder. We would rather spend 40 hours figuring out something out ourselves than invest 2 hours of our salary just to get the answer. Like how many of you have given advice and you're like, no, you should launch that business. You should do it. You should take the risk, go make it happen. And then in your own life, you won't do it. And I'm saying that because I do too. Okay. And so I'm hoping there's some people that we're on the same page. Okay. All of this thinking is poverty disguised as prudence. And that's the way I'm going to end that point. Let's move into the value creation formula. How do you create value? I'm going to teach you the mathematical formula for creating value that people will pay you for. And if created right, people will pay you a lot of money for this. Value equals problem solved plus pain eliminated plus pleasure provided. I'm going to unpack it here. Somebody type value in the chat. Value creation formula. Value equals problem solved plus pain eliminated plus pleasure provided. Let me break this down. Problem solved. Every day you solve problems that other people struggle with. Every system that you create, every process that you improve, every challenge you overcome represents a problem that others would pay to have solved. And I really hope you've caught this by now. We're on day 5. No judgment if you haven't caught that, but maybe go rewatch these other ones. Okay, next one, pain eliminated. Pain is expensive. When people are in pain, financial pain, operational pain, emotional pain, they will pay a significant amount of money to make that pain go away. Your solutions don't just solve problems, they eliminate the pain that those problems cause. That's pain eliminated. That's part of the value formula. Finally is pleasure provided. And this is about the positive experience people get from your solution. It's not just about removing the negative, it's about creating positives. When your solution makes someone's life better, easier, more enjoyable, that creates significant value. Therefore, let me repeat my piece up here. Value equals problem solved plus pain eliminated plus pleasure provided. Thank you, Stephanie, for putting in the chat. I appreciate you. And I'm sure everybody else does as well. Now, here's a multiplication effect. When you solve a problem that eliminates pain and provides pleasure, the value doesn't just work by addition, it works by multiplication. For example, a simple email organization system that might solve the problem of inbox chaos. But what it also eliminates is the stress of missing important messages and provides the pleasure of feeling organized and in control. Let me run that back one more time. A simple email organization system might solve the problem of inbox chaos. But what it also eliminates is the stress of missing important messages and provides the pleasure of feeling organized and in control. The value becomes exponentially higher. This is why simple solutions often generate substantial revenue. They're not just solving problems, but they're eliminating pain and providing pleasure simultaneously. Every piece of professional knowledge that you have can be analyzed through this exact formula. What problems does it solve? What pain does it eliminate? And what pleasure does it provide? One more time for the people at the back. What problem does it solve? What pain does it eliminate? And what pleasure does it provide? When you start thinking this way, you'll see valuable opportunities everywhere. By the way, you can take this exact formula and find out where in your life have you seen these results. Okay. Now, next here, there are 4 levels of money thinking, and each level is exponentially more powerful than the previous one. Level 1 is addition. This is linear thinking. Add more hours, more clients, more projects. Most entrepreneurs operate in the addition level. That's level 1. It has a ceiling because you only have 24 hours in a day. Level 2 here is multiplication. This is systems thinking. Multiply your efforts through people, processes, and systems. And this is where successful entrepreneurs operate. It's better because it still requires your management and oversight. Level 1 is addition. Level 2 is multiplication. Level 3 here, I was trying to say this word, exponentiation. Thank you. Can you throw that slide up there? Exponentiation. Level 3 is exponentiation. Type exponentiation if you know how to spell it. Okay, it's not that hard. This is asset thinking. Create assets that grow exponentially without additional time investment. And this is where digital products live. One product can generate income indefinitely with minimal ongoing effort. And finally, level 4 here is infinite multiplication. And this is legacy thinking. Create systems that teach others to create assets. This is teaching others to fish instead of giving them the fish itself. Moving from level 1 to level 3 doesn't just double your potential, it multiplies it by orders of magnitude. It's exponential, the multiplication. A level 1 thinker who works 60 hours a week to make $60,000 per year versus a level 3 thinker who creates a digital product that generates $150,000 per year while they work 20 hours per week on other priorities. I sat with the VIPs earlier today. We were mapping out, what does this look like? What should this season look like? What should my business look like? Why? Because you have to design who it serves. If it's not designed, then all of a sudden it's designing you. You are serving it, not it serving you. You purely just become another slave to something that you created rather than this thing serving you to the fullest potential. Okay. Digital products are the vehicle for moving from level 1 thinking to level 3 thinking. But here's what most entrepreneurs get wrong. They think that this requires starting over, learning new skills, and becoming someone different. And that is backwards thinking. I'm getting a lot of people saying, repeat the slides. Level 1 is addition. Level 2 is multiplication. Level 3 is exponentiation. And level 4 is infinite multiplication. You do not need to become a content creator or a course creator. You need to become an asset creator using the expertise that you already have. Every problem you've solved is a potential level 3 asset. Every system you've developed is a potential revenue stream. And every framework you've created is a potential wealth generator. Now, let's move into, I want to give you a practical method for identifying your first wealth generating opportunity. Everybody's asking for the 4th slide. Can you show level 4? Oh, we don't have level 4? Dang it. Okay. I think we lost slide 4. I'm so sorry, everybody. Level 4, I'll read it to you one more time. Level 4 is infinite multiplication, and this is legacy thinking. You create systems that teach others to create assets. And this is teaching others to fish instead of giving them fish. Okay, I know you guys are asking for slide 4. I don't have slide 4, I'm so sorry. Okay, now let me give you a practical method for identifying your first wealth generating opportunity, for generating your first bit of value here. Instead of trying to solve everything for everybody, we're going to use what we're going to call the Swiss cheese method. Instead of trying to create the complete solution, you look for one specific hole that you can fill. One problem that you can solve, one pain that you can eliminate, and one result that you can deliver. Deborah said, thank you for this concise teaching. Thanks for the feedback, Deborah. Here's how this works practically. Start with a simple audit. List every single problem that you've solved in the last 30 days. Don't edit it, don't judge it, just list it all out. Then I want you to ask yourself, which of these problems would people pay $10 to have solved? Ranford said, this is so good. Identify the wealth gem, Mariana says. Infinite multiplication, Dashcam. Thanks for helping each other out. You guys are awesome. So you're going to list out every problem that you have solved in the last 30 days. And then you're going to pick the simplest one. Ask yourself, which of these problems would people pay $10 to have solved? And then you're going to pick the simplest one. Not the most impressive one, not the most complex one, just the simplest one. Why? Because simple solutions are easier to create, easier to explain, and easier for people to implement. Let me give you some examples of simple problems that generate significant revenue. Here they are. First one, here's how to set up email filters to automatically organize your inbox. That is such a simple problem. Some of you, that's like you don't even have to think about it. You know exactly how to do it. Turns out there are people who are Googling that right now, how to solve that. You could be offering that as a digital product. The next one here is the 5-minute morning routine for busy professionals. Like, I would download an ebook. I would buy an ebook that explained that. It's incredibly simple. Next one here is how to meal prep for the week in 30 minutes. It's straightforward, it's practical, and it's a solution for people. None of these are groundbreaking innovations. They are simple solutions to common problems. The key is being specific. Instead of email management, it's email filters for automatic organization. Instead of morning routine, it's 5-minute morning routine for busy professionals. Being specific creates value because it makes the solution feel designed specifically for the person buying it. One more time. Being specific creates value because it makes a solution feel designed specifically for the person buying it. Now, I want to give you the exact framework for converting your knowledge into an asset. This is the BOSS method, which has 4 different components. And this is common online. First one, BOSS, is B, believe. You must believe that your knowledge has value. This isn't about an ego. It's about recognizing the problems that you solve easily are actually the problems that others struggle with significantly. One more time. It's about recognizing the problems that you solve easily and that those are the problems that others struggle with significantly. Oh, this is organize. Organize your knowledge into a logical system. It's to take what's in your head and structure it in a way that others can follow. S here, and there are 2 S's, so the first S is systematize. Create a step-by-step process that produces consistent results. And this is where your knowledge becomes a repeatable system. And the final S here is scale. Package your system for distribution so it can reach multiple people simultaneously. So let me walk you through this with a real example. Let's just say you've developed a method for managing difficult conversations, difficult client conversations. You've gotten good at it through years of experience, right? Here we go, client conversations on the screen. First of all, believe. Believe we can recognize that most professionals struggle with difficult client conversations. Your approach has value. We've recognized a problem here. I believe there's a problem. I believe that I have a valuable solution for those people. Organize. Structure your approach into teachable components. Maybe it's preparation strategies, conversation frameworks, de-escalation techniques, follow-up protocols, etc. S, systematize it. Now we're going to create a step-by-step process. First you do this, then you do this, and then you do this. If you respond in this way, then you do this. It's systematized. And then finally, scale. It's to package this into a digital format, a guide, a video series, an audio program, and so that it can be delivered to multiple people without requiring your personal time. Now you've created an asset. Type asset in the chat. The beauty of this method is that it works with any expertise. It can work for anybody on this call. Financial planning, project management, team leadership, sales conversations, customer service, operations. It can work for meal prep. It can look for parenting. It can look for home education. It can work for fitness. It can work for health, self-improvement. It can work for any of these categories. So that is the boss method. Now, here's what you need to understand. You are not creating content. You are creating transformation for people. People don't buy information. They buy transformation. They don't want to know more. They want to be more, do more, or achieve more. Your job isn't to share everything that you know. Your job is to create a specific transformation for a specific group of people. Now, I want to address something that is super crucial about timing. We are in the middle. I spoke about this yesterday. So if you're here yesterday, like raise your hand because you guys have heard this. We are in the middle of one of the biggest distribution to knowledge work since the printing press. AI revolution window. There you go. Artificial intelligence isn't just changing how we work, it's changing how value gets created and distributed. This was, if you were here yesterday, this was the wave. Type wave in the chat if you were here yesterday. This is this wave of AI. It's changing how information is shared. Therefore, it's changing how value is being created. That's why we're teaching this. Some of you are already experts on creating value. Turns out it's changing and you know it too. Most people miss the distribution creates a temporary window of massive opportunity for entrepreneurs who position themselves correctly. The entrepreneurs who understand this moment and they take action in the next few months will have advantages that compound for decades. This is this wave. This is not hype, it's purely pattern recognition. The internet revolution in the early 2000s was a wave. The social media revolution in the 2010s, that was a wave. And now the AI revolution is happening right now. Each time there was a new window, there was a new wave, that's where there were early adopters that gained advantages that lasted for decades. There are always, Apostle Tommy uses the word first movers advantage. They were first movers of every single wave. And right now we're in the early stages of AI revolution. The entrepreneurs or the wantrepreneurs, those that are ready to become an entrepreneur, those that want to learn and leverage AI for value creation and distribution will have incredible advantages over those who resist or ignore it. How many of you know somebody that like hates AI? How many of you know somebody that refuses to download ChatGPT? I feel like not worried for them. I feel a little concerned for them because they are missing something that is moving very fast. And I understand their fear of it, but they haven't learned to take control of it. Use it as a servant to them rather than becoming the servant to this new wave. You guys know this quote, the optimal time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. Now, there you go, asset in the chat, free gift. Someone said free gift. You guys are excited for that free gift. Okay, first of all, I want to address this. You have more expertise than you realize. After decades in a career, after decades of raising kids, after decades of situations, you have developed what Myron Golden calls the unconscious competence. You've solved problems so many times that you don't even realize how valuable your solutions are. For some of you, you are doing things and they're like second nature to you. Turns out there's somebody that's typing into ChatGPT or Google right now, how to do, and guess what? They're sending money to somebody else to help them solve that problem when they could be sending money to you to solve that problem. Here's the beautiful thing about Digital Products 2.0, and this is the wave that I'm talking about. Even if you feel like you lack expertise in a certain area, AI systems can help you create valuable products. And they do that by leveraging collective knowledge and structuring it properly. I explained this to you guys yesterday. AI can now help you become more of an expert in a field. Why? Because AI is already an expert in these fields. It already has a higher IQ than just your average human, which means it's already super intelligent. What does that mean? That means you don't need to be an expert. That's why we call it a non-expert economy. So some of you might be saying, I need to learn more first. Some of you might be saying, let me research this further. Some of you will say, I'm going to wait until I have a bigger network. Some of you are saying, I'll wait until I have that YouTube channel. Some of you will wait until I have this situation. I'll wait until I'm here. I'll wait until I move. Like some of you are saying like, oh, I'll just wait until I become really, really good at this thing. Well, guess what that sounds like? That sounds like you saying, I'm going to wait until I'm in perfect shape before I start exercising. Like, do you see how it doesn't click? Okay. Somebody said, gotcha. Okay, good, we're on the same page. Perfection is the enemy of progress. The marketplace does not need perfect solutions. It needs real solutions to real problems from real people. You already have something valuable enough to develop, to distribute, and to scale, or to deliver, and to use our formula. And you have that whether you recognize it or not. And I already spoke about the seed of God's aspect of his creativity that he put on the inside of you. Don't make me run back again, okay? Every day you encounter challenges that would completely stump somebody else. And every day you apply frameworks and you apply systems that you've created that other people would pay for. But you completely dismiss these opportunities because you think like everybody in my field already knows this. Everybody already gets this. Everybody understands this thing. Because you've just programmed yourself to think that that's perfectly normal. It's completely incorrect thinking. And any quick examination of the marketplace will completely prove what I'm saying. Like, did you know that social media is designed to make you feel like the most stupid person? Like when you scroll through social media, the algorithm is programmed to show you things that you're interested in. Well, guess what? Everybody here is interested in something that's further ahead than them. You have a goal, you have a fitness goal, you have a vacation spot, you have a job. Like you follow things that you're interested in, which means that you follow things like your goals, your dream life. You follow those things, whether you believe it or not. And so what does that make you feel like? Well, it makes you feel like you're the most stupid person in the room. It makes you feel like you have nothing valuable to offer because you're so-called surrounded by all these people that are further ahead than you. That's why social media is such a poison to your brain. It's such poison to entrepreneurs. If I go on my Instagram right now, I'm going to see 15-year-olds that are making millions of dollars. I'm going to see this guy that like launches $1 million business and does this. I'm going to see this person in ministry that's like leading hundreds of thousands of people and like, you know, they're whatever, 20 years old doing something. And I'm going to sit there. I'm going to feel like the person that is the most stupid in the room, the least qualified in the room. I shouldn't be doing anything. That's how social media is designed, is to make you feel like that. And you have to change that if you're going to step into the digital product space. You should change that regardless, my goodness, but let's stay on digital products. Okay. There has never been a better time for people to leverage digital products than now. We have technology that reaches anyone, anywhere. We have AI tools that do in minutes what used to take months. We have proven frameworks that eliminate all the guesswork. They eliminate the exploration of this realm or this industry or this area because now there's a framework, there's a formula to follow. So I don't know what your excuse is. Maybe your excuse is that you need more experience. Maybe you need, I need to spend more time in this area. Well, if you're listening to me, you'll know that that's completely unnecessary. You need somebody that you can follow to actually get results from your knowledge. You need a formula to follow. You need a framework to follow. You need one transformation and you need one testimonial. You need one person that can actually benefit from the expertise that you have, where they say, hey, thank you so much. You changed my life in this way. And that is more than enough now to scale, to pursue this digital product. You need one person to buy from you. That's why we're talking about the first sale. We've mentioned it on day 3 or whatever it was. Get your first sale, because that first sale will transform your entire mind into how you serve people. And once you serve 1, you can serve 2. And once you serve 2, you can serve 3, so on and so forth. Once you see that you can actually help people, your excuses will no longer just sound irrelevant, they will sound selfish. One more time. Once you see that you can actually help people and serve people, your excuses will no longer, they won't just sound irrelevant, they will sound selfish.
Preach. Tell them, Charles.
Truly. Somebody said truly free gift. Blows imposter syndrome out of the water. Exactly. Now, that is why Digital Launch is one of the world's first complete systems for building a profitable digital product without requiring deep technical expertise, and works even if you're starting from scratch. It is a system that is designed to catch this next wave. It's a system that equips people, it's a formula that equips people to ride that wave. Anthony said, riding the wave. Come on now. Somebody said I signed up, excited. Inside of Digital Launch, we're going to combine several different pillars that solve nearly all of the barriers that you may run into when creating a digital product. We are trying to bring this barrier so incredibly low inside of Digital Launch. And inside Digital Launch, you're going to get the following. Mary said I signed up, which means Mary is getting these pieces. Mary is going to get a Digital Launch formula, which is our complete formula for launching 7-figure digital products. Next, Mary is going to get, I'm going to use Mary as my example, but you guys are going to get weekly accountability calls. We're going to hold you to this commitment where social media no longer tells you that you cannot do it and you are disqualified and you should not do it, because then you're going to have us yelling in your ear even louder saying, no, you made a commitment. It's your responsibility. You have a moral responsibility to share the experiences and the testimony that you have and the value that you have. And you also have a responsibility to charge people for it, turns out. We're also going to drop another barrier by giving you a full suite of over 50 plus AI employees. I said on day one that there were 20. I'm now saying there are 50 because we made an update. We gave you guys more. In AROS will develop a complete product, including the content and the marketing for that material. Therefore, you can't say you don't know how to market. You don't have to know how to market. AROS knows how to market. They are smarter than me and smarter than everybody else in this room. Finally, we're going to enter you into the 90-day digital launch games. Why would we have games or competition in there? Well, competition just so happens to get people to move much quicker. When you're competing with somebody next to you in a good and healthy way, you just so happen to hit your goal way faster. I said this yesterday. The work is going to take any amount of time that you give it. What does that mean? That means if you give yourself a year, I promise you it will take a year. If you give yourself a week, it's going to take you a week. Therefore, we're going to put people next to you that are setting goals that are more ambitious than you. That way you need to rethink your goals. Okay, next we're going to give you a private community of digital entrepreneurs. We're going to surround you by a community. Therefore, your community is louder than your social media. And then finally, we're going to give you a place that can actually distribute that offer to the world. And we're going to bring buyers to you rather than you to buyers. And that is with WUP Marketplace Access. That is well over $10,000 in tools and training. And then above that, we're going to give away about $30,000 of prizes just because we're so excited about your success. The investment for this, that is well over $10,000, we are only making $14.95 today. We are making this opportunity as accessible as possible to anybody in the room. And then on top of that, we're going to take all of the risk onto our side. What does that mean? That means that you have a 7-day money-back guarantee if you don't like anything. And that also means that we are going to work with you until you reach $5,000 in sales. I can promise you that for most of you in this room, you've never seen a guarantee that good. And we understand that because some of you have been burnt by digital products. You understand that you've bought a course, it's been sat in your Google Drive for about 9 months, and you barely watched Module 1. Now you have somebody holding you to this commitment. Now, here's the final thing I want to say to everybody before our team drops the link for the last time on day 5 here. You're standing at what we are going to call a fork in the road. Path 1 means remaining where you are and storing this away as something cool somebody once said. Path number 2 is to recognize that you have valuable knowledge and experience, and you're going to take action to convert that knowledge into a wealth-generating asset. You're going to invest the experience that you have into something that produces cash flow for you. And not only that, not only is it a profit-maximizing business and a profit-maximizing asset, you're also going to serve people that you couldn't serve before. You're going to work by addition and not just multiplication. By the way, you can only do that once you have assets, which is a digital asset. This is not about becoming a different person to who you are right now. It's about multiplying the talent that you already have. You suddenly become this person who solves problems, who creates value, and who serves other people at the highest level. Your expertise has value. Your knowledge can create wealth, and your experience can serve others while generating income for you. The frameworks are proven, the technology is completely available, and the market demand entirely exists. The only question that I have for you is, will you step into the potential that you have, or will you continue accepting the limitations that you have? That is why this session was, we pushed belief hard. I told you that the Bible says that a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Therefore, I'm asking you that question. I'm not asking you if you want to join Digital Launch right now. I'm asking you, are you willing to step into your potential? Or are you willing to continue letting your limitations stand in front of you? For many of you, you're seeing this last day as the end of something. We're ending the 5-day challenge. Whereas for others of you, you're going to see this as the beginning of something. This is the start of my new season. Yolanda said stepping in. You're stepping into something new. This is the beginning of something great. Okay, without me holding you guys back anymore, let me say this first, just before the team drops the link. This is day 5 of the challenge. This is going to be the last time that you hear me telling you about digital launch. I'm not going to do another 5-day challenge next week saying, oh, like this, that, and the other, I'm going to teach you more. This is the last time you're going to hear it from me. So if you have been here during this event, you have discovered or learned or been reminded that you already have value inside of you. You just need to learn how to package and distribute it to the world in order to replace your current income. And you've been on the fence about joining Digital Launch. Now is your opportunity to do so. This is a wave. This is an opportunity in time where those who capture this wave are going to have successful businesses, and those who do not will not have successful businesses in this area. Okay? So it's a 5-day of our challenge. Somebody said, let's go, launch time. John said, I'm excited. Amazing. My team is going to drop the link to Digital Launch in 3, 2, 1. The link is now in there. If you've been on the fence, this is your moment to jump in. If you are having any issues joining, I want you to go to joingoshen.com. That's joingoshen.com. For anybody that's having any issues getting the link or clicking something, it's joingoshen.com. By the way, it's Sarah, I think. I want to join the wave. Come on. Yolanda said, thank you, Charles, for all the information, clarity, and support. If you've joined Digital Launch, give me a shout. I want the GDL, the Goshen Digital Launch family to the GDL team to shout in the chat. Come on now, ride the wave. There you go. Amazing. And remember, everybody, I have a free gift to give you as well. So don't jump here. If you're not joining, that's okay. But don't jump. I got a free gift for you. V. Williams said 100% going in. Oh, come on now. Somebody said entrepreneur is to carry the weight of responsibility. Being an entrepreneur means to carry the weight of the responsibility. That means to step out, take the risk on your side to serve others and do it in a way that serves them to the highest level. In order to serve someone to the highest level, you have to learn how to charge them. You have to learn to get them to make an investment into their own transformation. Turns out, if you think about your life, you've never actually had a transformation without investing something. If you don't agree with me, you don't have to agree with me. You invested something, you gave something, you gave money, you gave time, you sacrificed something in order to have a certain level of transformation. Therefore, you already are living by this exact principle. Now, why not use this principle? Like, I love principles so much after Tomi Araimi told me this. He said, in the Bible, there are promises. There are many, many promises in the Bible, right? We all agree with that one. Every promise is preceded by a principle. And in order to reap the benefit of the promise, you must follow the principle. It just changed my whole mind about principles. I'm like, wow. So in order to receive the promises of God, I have to look for the principle as well that is always there and then follow the principle in order to receive the benefit of that promise. Come on. Yeah, some of you have heard that before. That's awesome. Absolutely true. Wave for me. Amazing. Okay. Someone said, I think my sister said to me, like, oh, you just have a ton of quotes. Like, you just have quotes in a lot of what you say. And like, I kind of took that as a compliment. I thought, that's pretty cool. I love quotes. I'm just a big quotes guy. I hope you have some great quotes as well to drop in into your notebook, drop into the chat if you have a quote that I said that you really love. Proverbs principles, amen. Yes, that's 100% true. Okay, everybody, I have a free gift for all of you, but let me first say this. If anybody's having any problems with signing up, we have a whole team that is ready right now to help you get signed up or to help you with any problems you have, any questions you have. They are fully available. They stay up late, they kind of clear the schedule, and they're like, hey, we're committed to making sure that we can help people right now. So if you have any problems, there is a support phone number. Do you have a bigger screen with a support line? I think it might be too small. There you go. So that's phone line on the screen. Xander's on the screen? Okay, cool. It's on the screen right now. If you have any problems, go and text that phone number. They're then going to reach out to you and they will help you out. Evelyn said, drop an ebook of quotes. That'd be fun. Hey, digital product. That's an idea right there. Like 101 quotes for parents. I don't know, with kids, I don't know, 101 quotes that will give you motivation every morning or something. 101 quotes. I don't know, you guys can go crazy with your creativity. Okay. Somebody said, woohoo, riding the wave. If you are joining Digital Launch, come back and like shout. You can flex a little bit in the chat. We give you permission to flex this new journey that you're stepping into. We want to encourage you, congratulate you as well. For everybody else that is not joining Digital Launch, but you're still launching a digital product, I congratulate you as well. You have built up momentum in the last 5 days. My encouragement to you is do not hit Monday and lose momentum. Do not hit Monday and just have the end of a season. This is your moment to keep building momentum and building that digital product. And if you build one, scale it and get your first sale. Like scale it just to your first sale. Get that first sale. And once you get that first sale, I can promise you that you're going to hit this moment of, oh, I get it now. I understand value now. And then once you get that first one, I can almost promise you that you can get your 10th. And then once you get your 10th, I can almost promise you get your 100th. Because you've understood value. Okay. Anthony said flexing. There you go. Victoria said this is going to be fun. Amazing. I'm super excited for next week because we're going to jump into it and it's going to be awesome. Like you can access everything now. By the way, everybody, you got AROS access today. You should have got an email. So you could dive in there and start creating your DNA and all that good stuff. So there's a few things that I told you guys I would do. I'd give you a free gift. I told you I would give you a tour of Digital Launch as well in our Q&A session. And then I also, what else did I say? Oh, workbook password. Now, the only thing I want to say, we said this yesterday, we enabled an extra payment plans option. It's called Split It. And it doesn't check your credit score. It doesn't check your like financial state or anything like that. It doesn't do any like checks. They have their own system for offering payment plans to you. So if you don't want to pay the full amount up front and you want to split it up into payments, you can do that. Just use Split It at checkout. If you have any problems, message the support team. Okay. Free gift. Is it a QR code or is it a link? It's a link. Okay. Everybody, this free gift, the reason we're giving you this free gift, and I'm going to say it again, our goal is that everybody leaves these events, you all leave this challenge with something in hand, with something incredibly valuable. But before I give you this free gift, I want to know how many of you received value from this challenge. So type value in the chat or type your favorite quote, type the first revelation you had, the biggest revelation you had, something that you're taking away from this challenge from either myself, from Tomi Araimi, from Dan Romer, from any of these people, some of these pretty fantastic people. If you learned from somebody in the chat, type value in the chat. I want to know how many of you received value or were blessed by this challenge. I'm sure this won't be our last challenge. I'm sure we'll do more of them. There we go. Value, 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 value. You guys are crazy. Awesome. That's so good to hear. Okay, so I'm going to give you, I want to go over the top. I want to under-promise, over-deliver. So we're going to give you a free gift. This free gift is a training by Tomi Araimi himself. It focuses on AI, but as you know, Apostle Tomi, if you know Apostle Tomi, he packs value into everything that he does. So this, you guys are going to love this. The way that this is going to work is there's a form for you to fill out. So is it fully free? No, it's not fully free. It's $0, but it's going to cost you 5 minutes of your time because nothing is truly free. So I'm going to ask you just for 5 minutes of information, what your thoughts are about this challenge, how we could do better, how we could serve you better. I understand that wealth is a byproduct of providing value to people, which means if I can just obsess over providing value to people and give as much value as possible, wealth will never be a problem. Money will never be a problem. And you should take that same framework into your digital product journey.